week's vlog features a little bit of homeware content, which isn't something that I really include in my vlogs or haven't done for a while, mainly because I have been waiting for many months now to share some news that I still can't share yet, and fingers crossed we'll be able to share this month, and that news will kind of come with lots of future homeware content, and I'm sure you can probably guess what that news would be. I'm not going to say it out loud because I kind of don't want to jinx it, even though everything is kind of at its final stages, but that announcement would mean that a big new project would be undertaken, and the homeware things, you know, all the things in this house might be moved to a different location. That's all I'm saying for now. This week actually I'm working with Vinterior just to put together a wish list of homeware items. Now Vinterior is a pre-loved furniture marketplace, and for this next project I really want to get more into vintage and pre-loved furniture basically, and not just furniture, kind of all homeware things, because I think it's such a great way to create a very unique environment in your home, and Vinterior Vinterior prides itself on that because you know, it's a huge marketplace to find so many unique pieces that not many people, or in some cases no one, will own. So I have been sifting through the vast array of incredible pieces that Vinterior have, and I've put together a wish list, which I'm going to just quickly scan over it now and talk about a few key pieces that I really like the look of. But I am going to include a link in the, if I can make it public, I want to include a link in the description box of this vlog, because I think it's going to be a wish list that will grow. And I will definitely add more pieces to it as the months go on. Right, let's see if I can remember the shortcut for screen record. Aha, it has worked. Okay. Starting from the beginning here. Right, it's very store heavy, and what I will say, my wish list, although I'm trying to be a bit more experimental with, I guess, more organic textures and shapes as opposed to the very sort of like clean structural lines that I normally go for. My palette within this wish list is still quite neutral. There are a few pops of colour, but not many. I feel like my interior taste is very similar to my wardrobe taste actually. Anyway, very stool heavy at the top here because I quite like the idea of using a stool as a plant stand. It's nothing new, but a lot of the plants in our house just sit in pots quite low on the floor. I like this one in particular here on the top left because it feels a bit more organic. The structure is a bit more, there's some curves in there. It feels a bit more kind of weathered and used, and I think that actually complements some more cleaner structural pieces, like sculptural, not structural, sorry. These two here, also really like these. Going down, this set also I thought would be really nice to display, like a big stack of books maybe, again for plants would be really handy. Going on to the second page, what was the thing? Oh yeah, I'm really into day beds. I really like the idea of a sort of Danish day bed as something to have in a spare room, or you know, like a guest room. I don't hate this pop of blue, you know, and I think it's because of the colour of the wood. The two of them, I think because this has quite a sort of yellowy undertone, it actually complements the blue quite nicely, and it's so funny because within my sort of like wardrobe, for those of you who watch quite regularly will know that I've introduced a lot of blue, like brighter blues into my wardrobe, so it's quite funny now that that's kind of like blending into my homeware decisions as well. This sofa chair is really cool. This feels kind of nostalgic actually. Browsing through Vinterior, I actually started looking at quite a lot of old Habitat stuff because I have such fond memories of Habitat from when I was at university. We used to have a massive Habitat here, and it was a shop that I would always go and browse around and just have these dream scenarios in my head as an adult of having like this full Habitat house. I used to love it in there so much. This sofa kind of reminds me of that, is it the Linné Rosse one? I never know how to pronounce it, the Toga sofa. But I like that this has that sort of like clean sculptural line here, whereas the other sofa that I just referenced is a lot more soft and squidgy. This kind of combines the two elements. I think this is such a cool looking sofa. Going back, this bar cart is also very cool. Picturing that sort of like stacked up with like loads of glass, like crystal and other chrome bits and stuff. Another very nice vintage habitat piece. This coffee table is actually really cool. I find coffee tables to be a very hard thing to make a decision on because there's so many different options out there. But what I will say about this coffee table, although we actually already have a black coffee table here, I just wanted to highlight this one as another option as a black coffee table because I really like the way things look on black tables. It makes things really pop, especially if you have like a lot of lighter colour. Like I've got so many ceramics that are kind of like beige, brown, white, and I feel like they sometimes get lost on surfaces, whereas on a black surface, most things really pop. And actually, even if you have darker colours on a dark coffee table, that can also look really cool as well because you've got all these, you can kind of play around with different dark textures. I also really like how low down this is, and do quite like that it's brown and black, so it's not a fully solid black table. Another very good teak mirror. I don't think you can go wrong with a wood frame mirror. This magazine holder I really like. I've never had a magazine holder. It's just one of those things I've always overlooked, and actually, now I think about it properly, a very handy thing to have beside your sofa. I like this one a lot. This is so beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? This light is also very cool. I'm obsessed with just like all things like paper, which you will see in just a moment actually. So with working with Vinterior, they allowed me to select a piece from my wish list, which isn't on here now because it's gone, I've taken it off, which you will see in just a moment. You'll see me unboxing it. It has actually already featured within the vlog. For those beady eyes, you might have spotted something at the start of the vlog, but I will show you that in just a moment. So they're kind of like, there's lots of classic pieces on here, I think we can all agree, but a palette that is very easy to build on, I think. This chest of drawers, very nice, like these a lot. Just, I think you can see here a lot more warmer woods, which is something we don't have in our house at the moment. We have a lot of like pale ply, and whilst ply is great, it's also very expensive now. Ply used to be a material that was used so often because it was much more affordable than things like oak. And since Brexit, the cost of ply has actually gone up now to the point where it's kind of on par with things like oak. So that's also another reason why I want to start looking at more kind of like pre-loved things, because you can get a better deal, basically, let's be honest. There's really something beautiful about wood that's kind of like started to age. There's really sort of like golden woods, and we've got we have a different vision for this future project that I literally cannot wait to get started, because it's while it's within keeping of our tastes, obviously it's very different. What we have in mind is very different, and I want things to feel a lot more warmer, a lot more kind of like just lived in, and I'm hoping I can achieve that by using a lot more vintage and pre-loved pieces. I will now show you the item that I decided to pick from Vinterior. Ta-da! This is the final resting place. So the piece I chose is the Ingo Mora paper lamp. It is so beautiful. I can't quite illustrate how big it is. It's a lot bigger than I anticipated. I knew it was big, but I think in the previous clip, I was going to put my hand there, but actually I think in the previous clip when I was trying to unpack it, you would have seen for scale. I mean, in its box, it was so big that it wouldn't fit through the front door, so I had to unpack that in the front garden. This whole area is very cold looking. It doesn't look great, I understand that, and it needs warming up. We need a plant, we need something with more warmth. But for the time being, like, I think in the evening this will look really nice with that on, candle. I'll put a throw. I've got plenty of blankets and stuff and pillows. I can put something there. But what I really want to change, and we're going to go to an antique shop this afternoon to try and find a stool for the lamp to sit on. I put it on this side table, but it was too high. I don't want it to be massively elevated. I just want it to just be a tiny bit higher. And I think if I can find a nice wooden stool for it to sit on, that warm tone in this area will be much nicer, and it will just prop it up a little bit. I'm just worried that the circumference might not be. It could work, maybe.
I mean, it will be almost the exact size.
Yeah, I think it'll be the exact size of the.
How much is it? I think it's 15 quid if we don't find another one.
Yeah. Okay, a strong start. Okay, we're home now. We actually decided against that milk stall because stupidly, before we left the house, we didn't measure the circumference of the bottom of the light, and we were really unsure as to whether that stall was going to be too small. Now that we're home again, it is very clear that that stall would have been far too small. Also, the colour of it just wasn't quite right. I think something darker with a slightly reddish undertone would work a bit better. I think I want it to feel like I want the stool to feel like quite a contrast to the lamp, if that makes sense. So there are a few other places that I will check out locally over the next few days, and hopefully what I have in mind will present itself to me. The last time I went for a run was May 22nd. It is now October the 6th or the 7th maybe, so this could be interesting. Yep, that was hard, as to be expected when I haven't been running for basically the entire summer. 5 kilometres was pushing it for sure. Last kilometre was hard. Always forget how quickly you lose it. You lose your running stamina when you're not running regularly, but as always, I feel great for doing it. Look what I found locally, secondhand. This is like exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I envisioned when I was thinking of a stall for that lamp. It has like a metal plaque on the bottom that says Wonderwood, spelled W-A-N-D-E-R, then wood. And it looks like there was a kind of like plaque, you probably won't be able to see this, like here, that might have had some more information on, but it's snapped off. And I've tried to do a little bit of research online, and I found a couple of stalls similar that are also Wonderwood for sale, but no real information on like what Wonderwood is, where it came from, who on earth made this. I love it so much, and I'm going to put the lamp on it now. I've already done it, and then I sort of took it off to show you the stall. How good is this? And it's like a proper heavy solid stool. Yeah, I'm so chuffed with this. I absolutely love it. That looks so much better already, just bringing the lamp up off the floor a little bit, and it's nice to bring that kind of warm element into this space that was just so cold and stark looking. Obviously we're not planning on making any big changes to this area or any areas in the house because of the much larger change hopefully coming soon that I alluded to at the beginning of the video, but it's just nice to bring something new into this corner. It looks really nice in the evening with the top glowing. I've got a throw on there now, which is green by the way, but you really can't tell in this video. This light's a bit off. Yeah, it feels very cozy. I was a little bit concerned that maybe I should have picked a stool that was slightly wider to kind of like balance out the top of the lamp, but I kind of like how unsettling it looks and kind of off balance. It's a bit odd, but I'm into it, and actually when it's lit up and the top's glowing, it does look very cool. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this find. I think it was a perfect match for the lamp. still in my hat and my coat. I've just got back and I was so excited by what had arrived in the post that I couldn't bear to spend any time taking my hat and coat off. I need to sit down immediately and show you what has arrived. So I've been really prepared this year and have already ordered my diaries for 2023. Yes, that's right, plural, diaries. I'm going to be someone with 2 diaries for 2023. I will show you why in just a moment. So in 2021, some of you might remember, I gave bullet journaling a try and I enjoyed it, but didn't manage to do it for the entire year. I think I did it for about 8 months and I then just kind of like lost all motivation to do it. I love the idea of it, of being really creative with every day and being able to structure it the way I wanted, but I think I lost motivation to just even like write the dates every day and like keep it consistent, and in the end it started to look a bit messy and then it just turned into a bit of a kind of glorified scrapbook notebook thing. Then in 2022 I went back to a much more structured diary. This one's from An Organised Life. Very fancy, I've got my initials on the front there. It's an alright diary. The thing I don't like about this diary is there are a lot of kind of prompts in here, and I'm not someone that really responds well to prompts and kind of being told what to write. So there's a lot of encouragement to like reflect on things and talk about your goals, or write your goals, write your focuses, reflect on the week, talk about highlights of the week. There's like a habit tracker. There is a budget tracker. There's like a bit that asks you to write your 5-year plan, and there's all that kinds of stuff. And I just don't use those things. Action plans. Lots of goal-focused things. I much prefer just having a day with the date at the top, and then if I want to reflect on things, if I want to write goals and focuses, then I can do that. However, I totally understand why this kind of diary helps people. Like, I totally get that. There are some great things in here for those that respond well to those sort of like prompt pages. So for me, I personally felt like there was quite a bit of wasted space in this diary. It's also quite heavy, and it's not like the most travel-friendly size. I am someone that doesn't use their phone at all, really. I use the calendar on my phone, but I don't use it for any other tracking, really. I am paper diary through and through, so I need something that's a bit more travel-friendly than this for 2023. And I feel like I have finally found the answer that is a really good mix between bullet journaling and more structured diary. So I got an email from the journal shop. It was one of their newsletters about a month ago, and within the newsletter they were talking about some of the diaries that they had available for pre-order for next year. So I had a good browse and discovered Hobonichi Techo or Techo, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, diaries, and I ordered 2. So I've ordered a small one, and this will be the one that's with me at all times. This is the one that goes in the handbag and can travel with me at all times. So I can put like key things in here that I don't want to forget, and can just refer to this really easily while I'm on the go. This one will be much more of like a desk planner. This is the one that stays on the desk, and this is the one where I really kind of like pour everything into, and it will be much more of a diary. It'll be kind of like a life tool that everything goes into. There was like a little note that came with these. Oh yeah, this is interesting. So on the cover, you'll find on this one, these are the Japanese characters for T and Cho. And a Ticho or Techo in Japan is used for more than scheduling an agenda. It is also used as a sketchbook and a diary for other jottings that together tend to chronicle its owner's daily life. And I thought that was that really nice mix of kind of structured diary and bullet journal that I was looking for. So I'll show you the inside. So I've picked page a day because I feel like I'd respond better to a page a day. I much prefer to have that full page for one singular day. And so the paper is squared. So this is what I mean by it kind of being a bit similar to a bullet journal. I've still got that kind of like guide on the page so I can create grids and things if I want. But I've got the date at the top of every page. I don't have to worry about writing that each day. And then this one is also page a day, but at the very front there is the full months laid out, and then there is full weeks laid out, and then it goes to page a day. So I can probably use that front bit for like really key things, so I can kind of see an overview of the month, but it's the same squared paper inside. As to be expected with the Japanese stationery, it's beautiful, very, very beautiful. The packaging that this one came in was really nice. It came in this big sleeve. And it's one of those stationery brands that you can really buy into. Like there's covers, there's stickers, there's all sorts of like accessories that you can have with your planners and journals. But for now, I'm just going to stick to these two and try not to get too carried away because it is quite an expensive brand. So I thought you might find that interesting because I know there's so many of you out there that just love diaries and love stationery, and also quite a few people who I think were wondering how I got on with the bullet journal system. Short answer, I didn't get on with it in the end. And then the second thing that arrived in the post, which you're not even, if I asked you to guess, you would never guess in a million years what has arrived in the post that I ordered for Dean and myself. It is the US Office Lego set. So for Christmas last year, I got us the Seinfeld Lego set and we loved it. It was just such a fun thing to do. So I got us the US one. This is massive. Like the Seinfeld one was like half the size of it, and this is like proper weighty. This is going to be a big Lego set that I have no idea where we're going to put. The Seinfeld one currently lives on top of our washing machine. Not sure where this is going to go. Do you feel like this could be the start of a bit of a habit, depending on what other Legos get released? I was thinking the other day how good it would be if a Curb Your Enthusiasm Lego was released. But then I don't think that would lend itself very well to Lego because the Seinfeld one works because Seinfeld is so based in Jerry's apartment. And then this works obviously because it's in the office. But then Curb Your Enthusiasm isn't really based in one location. Like you wouldn't really do Larry's house. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't work actually. Right, that was quite a chatty segment, so I'm going to leave it there, take my coat and hat off. I might actually start filling in my diary. Is that a bit sad doing it like 2.5 months early, like putting in people's birthdays and things like that? Maybe I'll do that. And then tonight we're going to do this because Dean came up with a very good idea. I like to sit and watch Strictly at the weekend, but Dean does not enjoy Strictly, and it's like 2 hours long. It is a very long programme. Strictly Come Dancing, by the way, if you have no idea what I'm on about. So Dean suggested that we sit and do the Lego with Strictly on in the background, so he can get stuck into the Lego, and I get the best of both worlds and can have Strictly on whilst doing the Lego. Right, it's about a week later since all that footage was filmed. I'm just on my way to work. Before the vlog goes live, I thought I'd best film a little sign off. So this is me signing off, saying my usual thank you so much for watching. The next video that I have been filming this past week is kind of like a vlog that centres around what I've been wearing to work. It's really not that different to how I usually dress, but just thought I'd let you know that's what's coming next. And from the bottom of my heart, I mean, I literally cannot find the words to thank you all enough for the comments on last week's vlog. I was quite emotional reading all of them. Just the kind of mass outpouring of support was incredible, and it just made me feel so much more kind of like confident about the decision that I'd made. I have no idea where this next chapter of life will take me, but I feel really good about it. I feel really excited. I'm just going to take it week by week, see what happens. And yeah, hopefully in the next week or so, I will actually find an afternoon to sit down and reply, because I do really want to reply to all of your comments because they all deserve a reply. Yeah, thanks so much. So yeah, until the next vlog, I hope you're all doing well, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.